Aljamain, in the front right here. First of all, congratulations on another successful title defense. Now that the dust has settled and you've gotten past TJ Dillashaw, what are the emotions right now going through your mind?
There's a lot going through my head right now. I don't even know where to begin. Kicking around a whole lot of ideas and different things that I kind of want to try to start and explore. The one thing I will say is I definitely want to thank my team for making this trip with me and being out here for these long weeks, coming out to Vegas, coming back with me to New York, coming out with me to Dubai, and then all the way to Abu Dhabi. So it's been a crazy 10 weeks for this fight camp, and I'm just blessed to be in this position. And these guys give me the confidence to know that I truly am the best in the world, and I think my performance tonight speaks volumes on that.
When you say you're kicking around ideas that you want to pursue, what exactly do you mean by that?
There's a whole wide range of things I want to do. First, growing my YouTube channel, Funk Master MMA, giving the fans a whole bunch of access to the behind-the-scenes things that they don't see from a day-to-day basis, like what us fighters go through in a training camp. Acting, like legitimate acting, not the first Yan fight that people still think I'm acting about, but my rum company that I'm looking to get started. I just got a bunch of different things. You know, I came from really nothing, and to be here doing all this, being able to buy my mom a house, finally being able to buy her a car, and having money in the bank finally, you know, I think that's what it's all about, you know, giving back to my team, my teammates, being one of the coaches to help guide these guys the same way I came up. So there's just a lot, man. So I'm just taking it all in and making history one fight at a time. And I look forward to making a little bit more.
Well, speaking of this fight specifically, I know you said your last fight against Piotr was one of the more satisfying wins of your career based on the build-up and everything. But now that you finished TJ Dillashaw, the man who claims that he was the greatest bantamweight of all time, where does this rank for you in your career?
I think it ranks right up there. TJ, I mean, his resume speaks for itself, albeit I've said what I said about him. I really don't think he did any of those fights clean. I still will stick by what I've said, and not to kick him in while he's down, but I think he's still one of the greatest bantamweights. I don't think he's the greatest of all time, but I think you could make the conversation and he would be in that discussion. So for me to get a guy like that out of there, I think it speaks volumes on where I'm at and my skill set. I'm honestly just getting better, man. I'm getting better, giving me more time to get comfortable with the striking. And every time I say I'm going to come out here and strike, the legs are just right there, and I end up just taking it. It's really just instinctual. I see an opening, a guy starts to overcommit, and just like a piece of candy, and then I just take it.
Were you aware that TJ had blown his shoulder out, and then when he said that he blew it out in April and it actually come out dislocated like 20 times in fight camp?
I tore my shoulder and I had 5 professional fights and I went 5-0. So I understand the pain that he definitely had to deal with going through that, but he had the 2 shoulder surgeries during his suspension. I took him down. His shoulders were in the socket before the takedown. They were in the socket before the round ended, as far as I'm concerned. I full mounted him. I rolled his arms up. I flattened him out. I like to think that I'm the one that caused that to come out of the socket again. So he can say whatever he wants, but I don't think, socket or not, that fight wasn't going to get any better for him, honestly.
And then this is just in fighting in general moving forward. The scorecards came out and all the 3 judges gave you 10-8 for that first round. Do you think they should start normalizing 10-7 rounds, 10-6 rounds like that when you have a round like that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even my Yan fight, I had 3 minutes and 54 seconds of control time, ground and pound and submission attempts. The guy held him to my wrist for dear life, so I couldn't advance position, and I didn't get a 10-8. But then Patchy Mix gets a 10-8 fighting Horiguchi with 4 minutes with no ground and pound. I'm like, this makes no sense. There has to be consistency. So if the judges can give us models of what they're looking for, it would make it so much easier for us to game plan and really dictate our training camp so we know what we need to do when we're in the fight. Otherwise, we're kind of just saying, we're just kind of just going by what we think is going to win the fight. And I hope they understand that it's not trying to be judgmental on them. They just don't know any better because they're not the ones that are actually in there. They're not the ones that are actually sparring and knowing what each strike feels like. They don't know what a calf kick feels like. They don't know what it feels like getting teeped to the body when it feels like you want to shit yourself. So they only see real punches that connect to the head, and they think that's like the end-all, be-all for scoring fights. So the MMA judging could get better. No one's perfect. I'm not trying to bash them, but there should be a conversation to allow the fighters to come in so that we can have an intellectual conversation and help advance the sport.
In terms of your...
At 10-7, probably a 10-6.
In terms of your career, you named a few fighters in there. I know Dana had said maybe the winner of Sean and Piotr would get the next shot. He then kind of backtracked it and said, we gotta think about it. Even Sean said, like, we gotta think about it. He doesn't even want to think about fighting again. So it was up to you. Is any one of those names kind of ahead of the others?
Man, I'm just sitting back smelling the roses right now. I had a long training camp, worked my ass off. Any of those guys are good, man. This bantamweight division, literally, anyone could be champ on any given day, pending the matchup and pending the night. Like, some people have an off night, some people have better nights. And I'm a realist. People don't really understand that I speak the truth. I don't try to make shit up and try to just gaslight things, you know? So I really do think, like, tonight was my night, but it could have easily been TJ Dillashaw's night, you know? So I'm humbled by that, knowing that that's a real reality. And as of right now, I'm the guy sitting on top of the throne. There's a lot of challengers. We got another dark horse right there in Marab, who took out Jose Aldo. I know one of you guys are probably going to ask me that question coming up shortly. So we got a lot of things we need to figure out. I need to talk to Dana and Hunter, and we'll see what's the best move, man, you know? This weight cut is not fun for me, like, at all. I might make it look like it's not that bad. Even my teammates, they tell me, like, you crushed it. And I'm like, I'm dying inside. I'm dying. But it's, all jokes aside, it's tough, man. I don't know how many more times I could really keep making 135 like that. And I did want to give a shout out to the U.S. and Jamaica. Stand up. Stand up, baby, stand up.
Well, going off of that one last one, did you see what Henry Cejudo tweeted after your fight?
No, I didn't. What did he say? Enlighten me.
He said, yo, Dana White, give me the next title shot. Let's bring this title back to America.
Well, the title is in America, you bonehead. What are you talking about? I'm an American citizen. My parents are Jamaican. They were born in Kingston, born and raised. Their parents were born in Jamaica as well. I'm first generation Jamaican American. Like, I don't understand why people, like, stop saying that stupid shit. It's so stupid. I'm a proud American. I'm proud of my roots in Jamaica as well. I don't see why that's an issue with so many people to claim where their nationality is from and their heritage and how they're actually raised in their upbringing. America has given me a lot of opportunities, and I'll forever be grateful for that, but I'll never forget my roots and how my parents raised me, you know? So I don't know what he's talking about bringing back to America. The belt's in America already, baby. It ain't going nowhere.
Aljamain, I'm sure you were getting ready for your fight, but did you manage to catch Yan versus O'Malley? And if so, what did you think of it?
I got to watch it. It was an exciting fight, I thought. I mean, a lot of questions were answered. I know Yana's good already. He's great pressure, and he does a great job of lining you up. He caught O'Malley the same way he caught me with that cross in that first round and sat me down. O'Malley was able to tangle him up and survive. Good on him. And my question mark for O'Malley was, how tough is he? Like, he's the hammer, and he always looks good when he's dribbling the basketball in there, but when someone actually can inflict a little pain on him, how's he going to do? And Jan is a tough dude. He's not going to go away. He landed a brilliant knee, step-in knee that Jan always covers up. I try to capitalize on that. Hopefully, I was trying to do something similar, but he landed it pinpoint, and he had a great fight. That first round came down to the first round the same way it came down to the first round with my fight with Jan. So it's an interesting time in this bantamweight division. There's so many options. I thought O'Malley did his thing. He looked good. I thought Jan did his thing. He looked good as well. It was a very competitive fight. O'Malley showed that he belongs. And I think he also showed just how deep and stacked this bantamweight division really is.
After the fight, TJ Dillashaw went into detail about his shoulder injury, said it popped out 20 times during camp and stuff. Are you surprised he was that quick to sort of mention the injury? Or would you kind of sort of think, I'd rather he didn't because it takes some shine off my win? What do you think about that?
Listen, I had so many things going on. You could ask the UFC PI team, and I'll disclose that with the HIPAA laws. And I got to the fight, and no excuses. If I lost, I lost. People say, are you building in excuses, because you're making claims? I'm like, dude, you got caught before. There's probably a good chance that you're doing it again. And I don't care. I was going to step in there with him regardless. Again, no excuses. If I lost, take my L like a man, go home, rebuild myself, study, and see how I could be better. And for him to go out and do that, I think it just kind of shows his personality. And I said it before, for a guy who needs to do PEDs, they have a chink in the armor for this guy to lose. And the first thing he went for was that. I'm like, dude, so you're going to just make it seem like your shoulder just came out by itself, brother? I like to think I had something to do with that.
Do you take any pride in, at the moment, the bantamweight division is as good as it's ever been, might be the best division in the sport at the moment. Do you take pride in the fact that you're the champion over it as it's this good?
Hell yeah, I take pride in that shit. These guys are killers, man. And again, I train with Marab, I train with Dennis, I train with Al, I train with all these guys. These guys are hammers. So I get the confidence going with these guys and then getting some extra work down in Extreme Couture, Syndicate MMA, 10th Planet, in those places. Just getting to see what these different looks look like, man. And the bantamweight division is stacked. There's so many guys who aren't even ranked that people don't even know about yet or are not paying attention to that are going to really turn some heads. And to be sitting on top of the throne, it's like I said, it's humbling. And hopefully I can whip a couple more ass cheeks before someone gets me out of there. But but right now it's the era of the funk, and I want to keep this train going.
Aljo, right here in front of you. So what about a fight with Marab? No, I'm just kidding. But as far as Henry, I mean, that's a fight you guys have been building for a while. You did the podcast together. You've done, face-offs and all this stuff. Is that one that before you do leave 35 that has to happen in your mind?
It all depends on timing. It depends on the offer. And Henry is good, but these guys don't understand. There's literally levels to grappling. It's not an inside leg trip match and laying my guard, brother. You're going to have to work. I take you down. What are you going to do when I take you down? So he can say whatever he wants about the distance. He leaves himself open when he's doing this little doodling thing on IG. It's funny. It's cute. He is a smart guy. I will give him that, so I won't bust his chops too much. But he's dealing with another cerebral fighter, so it would be a very competitive match, and I like to think my key points where I thrive will definitely overshine his. He's going to need to keep it standing the entire time, and what's he going to do when I actually get him down to the ground? It's, like I said, man, I take you down, I backpack you up, and that's a wrap.
Would that put a nice bow on the reign for you, though? Because obviously he never lost the title in the cage. He vacated it. So, is it a nice way to kind of just make it nice and clean?
Hey, I'm an MMA fan. Cejudo won the belt against Marlon Moraes. It was vacant. After that, he fought Dominic Cruz, who was sitting on a couch and took it on short notice because it was an opportunity of a lifetime. If we're being honest here, we are not the same. I fought guys with full training camps. I fought guys with wins and credentialed ability. Yeah, Marlon Moraes might have put me to sleep, but look where he's at and look where I'm at. I said it before, that was a hiccup. I took the guy lightly, paid him no mind, overlooked him, and I paid the price. And I came back and I showed that I'm still one of the best, if not the best guy in the world in this weight class. So I just got to keep doing it, keep working hard, and that's really what it's all about, man. Blue-collar work ethic, no cutting corners, no PEDs, none of that bullshit. And that's it, man. I would like to I like to be the beacon for people that go through that grind on a day-to-day basis, especially those people from New York, man, who hustle and bustle every day in that rat race. You'll get your break as long as you put the time in. You do things the right way. Good things can happen for you as well. So that's where I'm at with that. Cejudo wants it. Dana, what's up? Hunter, what's up? Let's talk shop. Let's talk money. And money talk, bullshit walks, right? So let's get it going.
Aljo, just front as well over here. Firstly, congratulations.
Thank you.
It does seem like you are teasing that you might be moving up to featherweight at some point in the not too distant future. Would you say we might see that happen in the next year or so?
It could. I even told the guys in the back, I'm like, it sounds weird when I'm saying that during fight week and right before the fight, people might think like, oh, his head's not in it. My head's always in it. It's just, I can acknowledge and separate the two and be like, this sucks. It's not fun. It hurts. Getting up to 170 pounds and then getting back down to 135 is not fun. It's not easy. And then trying to rehydrate the right way. It's a grind, man. And maybe I'll have better performances at 145. Who knows? But as of right now, I'm at 135. I'm winning fights. So far, so good. I'm still having fun with it. So I'm just going to focus on that and let the good times keep rolling in. And whenever the bad does set in, I'll go through that as well and get through it as I always do.
Did you see Volkanovski at fight camp walking around? Like, could you size him up when you were next to him?
He's a thick boy. But I think I give Volkanovski a good run. I think I can make it very competitive. Again, the same thing. He's a good, quick, elusive guy. He's smaller, explosive. I know he used to be a big rugby player, so he's going to be strong. But I'm a strong guy for the weight. And I do think if I put on, I don't want to put on muscle, but I think I could get a little bit more explosive or a little stronger at 145. And I can fill out a little bit more as well. So it's an interesting thing. And he's probably thinking the same thing, going up to 155, taking on the challenge. And I would like to take on the challenge as well, maybe going up to 145 and seeing what's good over there.
How do you think he'd do against Islam?
Against Usman?
Islam.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm worried about me right now. And I mean, I got this belt right here. Every life is good. I got my boys. We in Abu Dhabi. We about to make it rain tonight. You know what I mean? So life's good right now, man. Life's good.
Just, sorry, one more quick one from me, Aljo.
He had one too. You had one?
It was a Volkanovski question for me.
Good.
Do you know what? I've asked a question. It's fine. You go.
Go.
Go. It's fine. I've asked one. You go for it. Okay, so you said you had some plans to like do some different things. I know when you did the "I'm coming for the ass," you did some merchandising and you made a T-shirt. Would you consider making a backpack with "I'm coming for that back"?
I like where your head's at. I need a good artist, man. It's a hard time. I use Fiverr. They are not that great. I thought they would have been a little bit more reliable to help me. Like Sean O'Malley does a great job with his marketing, like making these shirts and jerseys. Great job. I wish I had someone to help me do stuff like that because that would actually be pretty dope. But I don't even know where to begin finding stuff like that.
Cody, Merrill Marketing.
Where's he at? Where's the marketing at? All good? Thank you, guys. Pleasure, as always, and still.